Can you tell us a testimonial, like a customer that has been transformed by that practice?
Oh, one of my customer, and it's actually on my website too, but he came to me very disturbed and very angry. He was so angry that he would lose the phone tossing off the walls at least once a week. He was losing relationship with his wife and his very young son. So actually his wife even asked him to move out. So he done traditional therapy and he didn't have any improvement. So he was kind of like, where's this anger coming from? I have a great job. I have everything I supposed to be happy and I'm this angry internally. So actually with him, I started with Reiki. We cleaned the energy all around him and I gave him some practices to do. And then we switched to hypnotherapy. When we desensitized the anger, we released the anger. That's what hypnotherapy is really fantastic. We can release all the anger right away.
And do you have to know where it came from? Like
no, we don't.
therapy?
We
That's
don't
the
have
beauty
to
of it,
know.
huh? Because in therapy, they usually drill until they find out where it came from, and then they start talking about it. You just release it.
You don't have to know the origin. We don't search for the origin. That will take too much time and again put us in a victimhood state when we really need to empower ourselves to be creator of the life we wanted. So we desensitized stressors and he started to connect with himself through inner child and other modalities I used on him, but was hypnotherapy. And he realized that he's living a life designed by his father for him. So he faced his father with very difficult conversation, quit very highly paid job, and reached for a job of his dreams. But because in my therapy I tap into spirituality, we also tap into manifestation. So he started to manifest his dreams.
Wow.
And his dream was to become a baseball coach. And everybody was telling him, you're not going to make money, only few making money. And you need to keep this career when you're making such a good, salary. Everybody's telling you. Well, his father actually was impressed with his courage to stand up to him. And he was released from the job. Today, he is coaching a national team in England, making even more money than before. They have a second child. His wife is very happy. And he writes the music. And he plays this music to his son.
Amazing. Power of following your passion and really listening to your inner voice. Huh?
We're still in touch. And he actually went through dramatic change. His mom passed away. And he said that all the tools we established during the hypnotherapy, he used again. And he was able to keep himself balanced in harmony, bring the peace to the family. So the tools he gained are benefiting him for life.
That's incredible. And you talked about living a highly paid career. I'm going to bring it back to you because I know you came from Poland, and in Poland you had a very highly paid career at the age of 28?
Oh, younger.
and you were coaching people a lot older than you and into a very grounding career, the title, the money, the everything. But as every woman's dream, right? We quit everything for love and then we realize it's different. But let's talk about that. How did that journey come about?
Actually, that was, it just was happening at the time. I needed to work. I was raised and born in communistic Poland. At the time I started working, the system changed. So everybody was jumping into the private business and private careers, and I became CPA for small investors and for small business. So, and everybody was going in a small business, so that's what I thought at the time. I never really thought that I will ever be a spiritual coach or I will ever be a Reiki master. Everything was going great, and like you mentioned, I fell in love. I flew across the ocean. Of course, I had to close my company. It's not possible to run business across the ocean in, let's put it, early 90s. There was no Gmail. The cell phones were that size, okay? So it wasn't really that simple as today. And I found myself in love. And later on, I realized that it's nothing I expected or I envisioned, that I don't know really self-worth. I didn't know what I like, who I am. And the relationship was very hard. And that's when I started searching for myself. I started searching who I am.
A lot of women can relate to you there because, a lot of us are either really successful in careers, you know, we know exactly what we're doing, we're very confident in our career, whether it's entrepreneurship or a corporate business. But women always have this, you know, self-worth issue. I don't know how else to label it, but it's the more confident and overachiever they are, I noticed in their careers, the bigger titles they hold, the less happy they are in their personal life. How would you connect the dots?
So when I realized I don't know who I am, what I like, what is really I would like to do in life, I was guided by my master. She was a fabulous life coach. So she will guide me and really ask hard questions like, what do you like to do? That does not include anybody else. Or sit down for 5 minutes and repeat the word peace over and over again. Of course, meditation at the time, that was like a going to the moon to me, okay? There was no way my busy mind could meditate, when today it's so simple. Simple steps, like she said, stop multitasking and do one thing a day you really like for yourself, for 5-10 minutes. If you like to sing, sing. If you like to dance, just be silly and dance in your bedroom, okay? Go for a walk, observe the nature, just short period of time, something you like for yourself. And this was powerful, led me to next step and next step and next step. And then this whole change is, as I said, started with me. I didn't think at that time I'm going to be helping people. I was all about how can I help myself? How can I help my marriage at the time? How can I make everything working? And then when things actually start working, I realized, well, there is nothing for me here anymore. I need to go and empower other people to do the same. Because if I could change, everyone can change. We will always be afraid of change. That's what I want to mention to everyone. Whatever our mind doesn't have a program for, we will be afraid of. So if you never were treated like a princess, which is popular today, the first time you treat it like that, you're going to be afraid of. The body may even shake. You may have a heart palpitation, and yet it's a good thing. So you may think like, what's wrong with me? There is nothing wrong with you. The mind runs the program, and you're writing a new program.
So what tip you would give to people? You know, it's difficult though, when you're in that self-limiting, fear-based environment, it's your reality. It's your reality. And I know a lot of women myself who live in that self-limiting lifestyle and are scared to make the change, whether it's a bad relationship, whether it's living a bad job, or even a good job that just doesn't bring them joy. I always say, we're not put here to struggle, so find your joy and follow it. What's that first step tip that you would give them when if I came as a client and I said, look, I'm stuck, help me?
Okay, if you will be my client, then we will just get hands-on with serious work on you, okay, in a therapy. But I want to give a first step to someone who is not, for example, coming as a client and just listen us, you know. Realize what you like. One thing what you really like, and give yourself permission to do it at least once a week.
Permission. Here's your permission, everybody.
Yeah, we're not allowing ourselves to do things we like or the good for us, and we think about the big plan. And here's the next step. If you want to change something, make a plan that is composed out of small steps. And then just give yourself time to accomplish those small steps. So suddenly the big plan, oh, I need to quit the career, or I need to change relationship, which is overwhelming. Everyone can be paralyzed just thinking about that. But if you decide, okay, this week I'm going to allow myself to read something I like it. I'm going to give myself permission to go to exercise class I always want to go to, but for example, my spouse doesn't approve that, okay? So do something small for yourself.
Going back to Reiki rules, right? Do something today.
Today,
You
yes.
can just do it today, even not worrying about tomorrow, the big picture, just do it today. I like that. That's powerful, you know, taking a little step towards improving ourselves, towards living a better life for ourselves is better than doing no steps at all.
Exactly. It's like lots of people come and say, how can I meditate, okay? Well, when our mind is so busy, we're not going to change the mind from A to Z. It's not going to be from overpowered, anxious mind to completely quiet. So do 2 things a day when you're not multitasking. So basically, if you want to talk to your friend, say maybe instead of half hour, I'm going to talk 15 minutes, but I'm going to be sitting comfortable and talking to my friend. If you cook, just think about, I'm going to just cook. No TV, no phone. We usually are on the phone talking and doing other stuff. Switch off the phone, just do that one thing. And your mind is going to...
conscious mind, not the subconscious mind.
Yes, yes. So what is that? Like, think about the radio, okay? The radio can play many stations, but not at the same time. We can only listen one station. But if we constantly change the channels, it's like a cacophony of sounds. That's how our mind is.
Exactly.
Okay,
Mind
so if we want to change the mind, we have to approach with love and acceptance, no critique, no judgment, and just start doing one small things. Walk your animal, walk your dogs, and look at the trees. Not to be on a phone and walk your dog.
Right.
Or go with your child to the playground and maybe watch the child for a moment, or maybe even become a child for 5 minutes and play with the child. There's nothing wrong with it.
I could use that with my son.
Yeah, your son is going to remember you playing with him, not necessarily the new toy he got in 10 years.
You know, they say the mind is this one tool that runs our show, and you know, if you don't take control of it, it will sort of go freewheeling the whole show, and you never know where you're going to end up. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all the work that you do for the community. I'm definitely a lifer customer. I'm going to come back and I need to transform and transmute every single trauma. You know, it's easier to transmute than try to go in and,
Yes.
you know, fall into that victimhood.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect.